but it was always for the love of the game. The dreams of Alice Bauer, Betty Danoff, Helen Detweiler fulfilled, Marlene Haggie, Opal Hill, and Shirley Spork all shared the thrill when Babes Aharius, Patty Bird, and Kathy Whitworth heard their calls. Like Carol Mann and Joanne Carter, Louise Suggs and Betsy Rawls, they all had to, need to, got to, want to play this game so bad. It wasn't for the money, it wasn't for the fame, but it was always for the love of the game. Betsy King, Mickey Wright, they barnstormed with the rest. Betty Jameson, Pat Bradley, Sandra Haney stood the test. Nobody admitting just how good these gals could play. They could beat most of the fellas on any given day, 'cause they had to, need to, want to, got to play this game so bad. Now there's Lopez, Sheehan, Alcott, Daniel, Inkster, and Sorenstam join those four. Just like
don't blow chunks on me, dude.
Oh, it's all his old stuff.
from Beatrix Lloyd to Dinah Shore, and thanks to those who had the courage to march to their own band. Now when daughters pick the club up, daddy's sure to understand why they got to, need to,
Freaking butter.
Marty Wheel.
Hey, Marty, Jeff Gilder with TGD Radio. How you doing?
Hey, Jeff. Great. How are you, sir?
Good. Hang tight, guys. We're just a minute away from live. Got 30 seconds, George. Marty Wheel is on.
Marty.
Good morning.
How are you, buddy?
Great. How are you?
Hanging in there. We've got Web.com tour player Patrick Lundy with us.
How you doing?
And we got Al Cloyd, Dr. Grind.
Hey, good to have you on the show.
So, Marty,
Guys,
I've got...
stand by, fellas. We've
Okay.
got this commercial, and then we're going live, okay?
Call Dave at the Golf Director, 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531.
Marty, you
Just
comfortable?
call Dave. Dave can get you on the course
All
with
right.
the best rates on the Grand Strand. Just
You'll
call
hear the
Dave.
introduction, and then I'll do an intro, and then we'll get started.
Just chat with Dave.
Sounds good.
Go to thegolfdirector.com in the lower right-hand corner. Click on In a few seconds, you're going to be chatting live with Dave. Dave has some of the best golf packages offered anywhere. Just call Dave.
I put these on too?
GO-GOLF-1. That's 844
Either one.
64
Yeah.
6531.
Actually, those fit good
At the Golf
behind you,
Director. Hashtag
like this.
Just call Dave. 844-GO-GOLF-1. Just call Dave at the Golf Director.
Where we gonna hit 'em today? Tee it up. Got my sticks, I'm on my way. I got
Just tighten them up. Move the earpieces back.
Everyone to the studio, please. Testing. Testing. Hello. Dr. Grind. Godfather. HR3. Come to the studio, please. It's time to go live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this is TGD Today. And now please welcome Hero the Third,
HR3,
Al Cloyd,
Dr. Grind,
George Honeycutt,
The Godfather.
And welcome back, everybody. TGD Today here at thegolfdirector.com. And we've got coming up this segment, Tech Talk with Al Cloyd. Hello, Al Cloyd.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
How are you?
Hey, I'm jam up.
Yeah, you didn't make the deer stand this morning, but
No,
you're
sir.
okay.
No deer stand.
No
No deer stand. And we've got with us also one Mr. Patrick Lundy, professional golfer
How you doing?
extraordinaire from Little River, South Carolina.
Great friend, brother.
He's a good-looking dude. You know that?
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
just
he-
a,
Even with
he-
this
he does
stuff on
well.
my face.
He does well. I mean,
he's not hurting for attention.
No.
Is he giving Jimmy Biggs a run for the money?
No.
got a long way to that.
Nobody's in Biggs category. No.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
And Mr. Bigglesworth. And we've got a very special guest, a longtime friend of the network and someone we've had on a couple of times. And it's always good to catch up with Mr. Marty Wheel, of course, the fitness coach himself. Marty, welcome in.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're doing well, dude. We're just having another wonderful day here at the Golf Director. It's
That's right.
a lot of
That's
fun.
right.
A lot of fun. So, Marty, you just came out with a new ebook, and it's called the Golf Fitness in 5 Minutes. Dude, I don't know if I could exercise more than 5 minutes, so this is perfect.
Yeah, it fits my schedule.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tell us a little bit about it, Marty.
Well, the concept of the ebook is not a new one, but the neat thing about ebooks is with the proliferation of smartphones, tablets, and PCs, you can carry the ebook with you on your iPhone or smartphone. If you're on the driving range, you can go through my 5-minute warm-up, get your body ready to play golf. Golf's a rotary sport, so any kind of warm-up that's rotary-focused is going to really help you. And then if you get back to your home, your hotel room, if you're a traveler or a road warrior or a tour player, and you want to stretch, I have more than 50 great golf-specific stretches. And they're categorized by body segment. So I've been doing this for a long time. I work with a lot of really good players. I work with a lot of amateurs and weekend warriors. And probably the most common problem guys have and gals have is lower back.
Yeah, without
So,
a
for
doubt.
example,
Yeah.
you can go to my lower back section and look at 5 or 6 great stretches. If you're not sure what I'm doing, you can launch the video, which launches a YouTube video. So
Nice.
cool stuff.
Nice.
I can relate to the lower back issues for sure.
Me
Yeah,
too.
no doubt about it.
Even as an amateur, I can
Battle them
relate
every
to that.
day.
Now, Marty, we've got Patrick in here with us today. Fitness plays such an important role with the success and longevity of any tour player. What can weekend warriors really do to prevent their body and their overall health from breaking down?
Great question. 2 things you can do. Number 1, always take at least 5 minutes to warm up your body, get your body ready to play. Your body is a series of rubber bands. So if you look at it from a golf perspective, you've got a slingshot. Your body's a slingshot. Do you want a tight and stiff slingshot, or do you want a nice, long, fluid slingshot?
Yeah, good point.
You want one that has mobility, right? So you can create more elastic energy. So step 1 is make sure that you warm up. In fact, in my new ebook, I have my famous 5-minute warm-up embedded in the book. It's a short little video with some really cool stuff you can do right on the range or even within 30 minutes of the time you play. And the second thing you can do if you're a weekend road warrior or just a warrior is to stretch. Flexibility is what I call the fountain of youth. I'm 55 years old. I can still touch my toes. I can make a full turn. So what I encourage guys and gals to do...
Hush your mouth now.
I know.
You're making us jealous, dude.
Is if you're in your 40s, you should be stretching 4 days a week. If you're in your 50s, you should stretch 5 days a week.
Really?
If you're in your 60s, you should be stretching 6 days a week.
Wow.
What if you're 80?
You want to be an overachiever, you should stretch every single day. And
Yeah.
think about stretching just as a way to create more elastic energy.
Really good stuff here. Let me, your comments there led me into a thought. Let's say I am the, weekend amateur player and I normally arrive at the golf course right at the last moment. I get in with the boys inside, I grab a cup of coffee or whatever. If I stretch at home before I get in the car and drive to the club, am I okay, Marty?
Yes, you are. I have a 30-minute rule. So if you're within 30 minutes, you get your body ready. Think about your body is like your race car. It's your most important asset.
Mm-hmm.
Within 30 minutes. Now, if you have let's say that you're going to drive 90 minutes, you probably want to get your body re-prepared.
Oh,
when
absolutely.
You get to the golf course, and you can do it on the driving range. Warm up your body, get your body functioning. The average tour pro is going to spend about an hour in pregame body preparation.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on stagnant stretching and mobile stretching? I've been to different trainers, and some of them are against stretching while you're still and stretching while you're moving. What's your opinion on that?
I think they both work. It really all depends upon the individual, and it depends upon what you want to accomplish.
Okay.
So the two things I mentioned, number one is the warm-up is really critical. So if you have access to a treadmill, an elliptical, or you can go for a short walk and then go through my 5-minute warm-up, you'll notice a huge difference right away. The second thing is, if you're really tight, you need to identify where you're the tightest. Most people have low back issues because their hamstrings are tight and their hips are tight. So if you identify your tightest segment, spend a couple of minutes stretching that muscle group or that segment of your body to prepare yourself to go play.
Marty, your 5-minute video on ebook, again, it addresses golf fitness in 5 minutes. But I guess a question I have is let's say I am showing up to the range, or I'm showing up to the golf course. More importantly, Saturday morning, it's cooler. Like here, it's going to be 38 degrees or whatever. And I'm only going to take a few minutes, so I go out to the first tee. I'm in line with the rest of the guys, but I'm going to start stretching for 2 or 3 minutes to get ready to play. Can I just refer to your video and find out those exercises I most should key on for that 2 or 3 minute stretching I'm going to do at the first tee?
Yeah, I think, and the cool thing about the ebook is that my previous book was a printed copy. The new ebook, I love the concept. I got feedback from people in 15 countries all over the world, and it was like, hey, I love the concept, but make it electronic so I can pull out my smartphone, put it on the tee box, and go, hey, I'm tight in my back, or I'm tight in my hips. Show me a couple of things I can do with a quick little video. So, for example, one of my favorite ones is called the helicopter. Just imagine that you're standing in athletic posture. You place your arms straight out at shoulder height, and you make a little horizontal rotation side to side. You're just turning side to side. Start nice and slow, and then you slowly increase the tempo. You do that for 30 seconds, then you get yourself into golf posture and do the same thing, and just think shoulder turn, shoulder turn.
With the arms elongated, is that what you're doing? Just kind of going into a golfing posture?
Yep.
Okay.
Arms straight out, wide wingspan, make a shoulder turn, make a shoulder turn.
So your feet should be at your normal, quote-unquote, stance as far as your feet apart when you go into the swing posture, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And you get stressed for time, and the truth is the average round of golf in the U.S. is 4 hours and 28 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes that, right? We want to play in 3.5.
Right.
3.5 is a fun round of golf, right?
Right.
So if you're going to spend 4 hours or more on the golf course, just make sure that you carve out or you budget that extra 5 minutes to get your body ready before you go play.
Mm-hmm. Well, it definitely makes a difference.
How about during the course of the round? If the slow gets really play gets really slow and you feel like you're getting tense, how about stretching on the course?
Good question. Yeah.
And that's an awesome question. I love that because most guys get tight, especially if you're sitting in a cart.
Yep.
You're playing tournament golf. I love the World Am. The World Am is a great event. I've done it for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge with any event like the World Am is it's just a little bit slow. It's tournament golf. It's 5-hour round of golf.
Mm-hmm. You're being very nice, Marty.
Hey, I love those guys. They've been very good to me. I've been on stage for the last 5 years.
Yes, you have.
People.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, if you get tight, you can always go back to your smartphone and pick those 1 or 2 stretches that are going to help you the most.
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, my mid-back gets tight. So what I'll do is get out of the cart, hold on to the handle on the side of the cart, do a nice little stance golf posture, and just stretch my mid and lower back.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got more than 50 options in the booklet. You find the 1 or 2 or 3 that will really work for you. You get them nailed in, and if you get tight, you just step out of the cart and stretch.
Again, we're talking with Marty Wheel, author of Golf Fitness in 5 Minutes. Is a new ebook available. Where can we go to get the new ebook, Marty?
New ebook is available on my website. So if you're driving and you don't have access, just think the number 5 minutewarmup.com.
Okay.
The number 5 1minutewarmup.com. For all the listeners today, I want to give them a special deal. It's the holiday season. If you want to buy the book, it's only $19.95. If you enter the promo code 50OFF, you'll get a 50% discount.
Well, that's a good deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
50 off is the promo code.
It out.
Nice.
Let me go through Marty. It's always great having you on, and I appreciate you taking the time. A couple other things I wanted to touch base with you. We are going into the fall. We bypassed fall here in Myrtle Beach, but we're going into the winter months. And what can we do to prepare our bodies for, say, springtime when it comes back around?
That's a great idea. I would always go back to the stretching. Probably the stretching is the easiest thing for most golfers to do, and it's probably the most challenging because most people don't know exactly how to stretch or when to stretch or how to stretch. So identify the tightest segment in your body. And here's a couple of quick little tests you can do. If you stand nice and tall with your legs straight, hinge from your hips and see if you can touch your toes. If you can't touch your toes, you need to work on your hamstrings. So in my ebook, I have 5 or 6 different hamstring stretches you can do. Second thing is get into golf posture. Put a golf club right across your shoulders and see if you can make a full turn. If you don't feel like you can make a full turn, then you probably need to do a little bit of work on your lats and your thoracic spine, which is essentially your mid-back. So those are 2 little things that you can do to identify a couple of areas that you might need help with. If you have the time and the resources, try to find somebody that is TPI certified. TPI is the Titleist Performance Institute.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to their website. It's mytpi.com. So if you live in Maine or you live in Southern California or Atlanta where I'm based, you can look for a fitness professional, or you can, again, refer back to my ebook, and I've got a lot of great drills and stretches in the book that will help you. So get active, stretch it out, get your body ready for the spring because it's coming. It might be 6 months, but it's coming.
Right, right. And, of course, too, at some point in the wintertime, hopefully you have the opportunity to go in and hooking up with a bunch of the friends, whether it be girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it may be, but you're going to be able to sometime during the winter maybe get south or get to some warmer climate and play some golf where you've been static for 2 months, 3 months, whatever. You just got to go out and play or you're going to, explode. So it's these stretching exercises and mobility aspects and staying in tune with that is so vitally important. Otherwise, it's like taking a 10-hour drive and get out of the car and go to the first tee and hitting one. You're going to hurt something.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
No doubt.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, Marty, I got an interesting scenario that it's amazing we had you on this week. Just this last Sunday, I had a young man in, I didn't know if you knew or not, I went to part-time work with the Golfsmith Performance Center at Barefoot. And,
awesome.
Yeah, so this young man came in Sunday afternoon. He is a physical therapist. He has a master's. And so he is a long-distance runner, but he has taken up the game of golf. He's a 25 handicapper, and he came in for a driver fitting. And he is, of course, aspiring to become a great physical therapist. He's not making a lot of money right now, and so he really has to watch his dollars spent. And being a physical therapist, he has all the apparatuses at work, but he doesn't have the luxury of being able to afford those items at home. And he was asking me, he goes, what are some exercises and some different little toys that I could get, like big balls or a pulley or a stretch cord or something of that sort. And I told him, actually Sunday, Marty, I said, you need to go to Marty Wheel and you need to go to his website. I said, because as far as these apparatuses, he comes up with the greatest and most clairvoyant ideas, I think, for getting that stretch together that, he wants to develop his golfing muscles.
Right.
He's got running muscles out the yin-yang. I mean, the guy can run, he was telling me about, he just did the Boston Marathon. He did the New York Marathon. He just did a, what do they call it, Ironman?
Yeah.
So the boy's in shape, but he only weighs 130 pounds.
Right.
And, but he has little to no golfing muscles.
Right.
And so he was trying to, how can I build up my core sternum, my hip turn, he had no clue about putting the weight on the inside and on the ball of his feet, You know, he was a rocker, and there was just so many things. He's right-hand dominant, so he thought that he had to take that right hand and shove it at the ball with the club.
Right.
So there was just these exercises. I told him, I said, go to Marty's website. I said, review that. I said, I told him it's in ebook form, and I said, you need to download that sucker. But what are some cheap options as far as some exercising, you know, kind of things that you could pick up, like a pulley string or something of that sort?
One of the things I really enjoy doing is working with these bands. A company called Golf Gym out of South Florida. They have these power bands. They're $49.95. They're very affordable, and there's a great bunch of golf-specific exercises you can do. There are two separate handles, one attachment that can attach to a door, or you can wrap it around an anchor. There's two different anchor points on the tail end of the device.
Right.
So one of my favorite exercises is to sit on a stability ball, those big stability balls that kind of can replace a chair, the big stability ball. Sit on the stability ball.
Right.
Get into a good posture and work on your takeaway and then work on your finish. Yeah. And if you sit on the ball and you're just going to imagine you're doing a drill, it's called horizontal chops. You're just not making a nice big turn into your backswing. You flip around and turn the other way where you're working on your finish. So people probably won't remember that, but if you think about Golf Gym, they've got some really good products. I use them, and virtually all of my clients use them.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense for me to reinvent the wheel, so I like to find tools that are very helpful. They're portable, they're affordable, and there's a lot of great things that you can do with them beyond just stretching in my warm-up.
Marty,
go ahead, Patrick.
I spend a lot of time on the road. For example, I'm leaving Friday, driving 10 hours to Panama City. And whenever I travel, when I get out of the car, if I have to tee it up or play the next day, I'm so tight that I could get into bad swing habits. And I've almost gotten to the point where if I travel on a Friday, I'll take a Saturday off and then play my practice rounds on Sunday and Monday. Is there anything I should do differently, like maybe get out of the car every 2 hours and stretch, or something like that? I stretch on a regular basis, but I'm very tight whenever I get out of the car, especially after anything over 6 hours.
Another great question. My rule is, and it's going to sound kind of crazy to you, but my rule is 90 minutes.
Really?
Try not to sit in a static position for more than 90 minutes. If you're in a car, if you're not in a car, I have a 45-minute rule. And, there's been some really cool inventions lately with the various wristband devices, fitness devices.
Mm-hmm.
Jawbone's one of them that comes to mind. Nike has one. Garmin has one. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, Callaway has one. Yep.
Callaway has a great one that you can attach to your wrist, and you can actually set alarms. So if there's little activity, it will give you a buzz after 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll actually buzz your arm and go, hey, get up and move.
Yeah.
The way you can manage it on your own if there's long drives, you try to break it up where you stop every 90 minutes and make sure that you hydrate. The challenge for those long drives, I live in Atlanta, so when I drive over to Myrtle Beach, it's 6 or 7 hours.
Right.
I know I'm going to stop 3 times. I just build it and say, I don't care. I'm going to stop 3 times. I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to take a restroom break, and I'm going to get up and move for 10 or 15 minutes. And then when I get to Myrtle, I don't feel like I'm 900 years old and I can't
you
move.
really do. It's crazy.
Yeah, I just did that drive, Marty, just this weekend. I was over in Atlanta, and hate we couldn't get together for dinner, but I had some business meetings, and driving back, I decided I was going to go straight through. I left Atlanta at 4 a.m. in the morning and drove back 5 hours and 20 minutes is what it took back up here to Little River. But when I got out of the truck, I could not take a step.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like my legs went totally numb. My right hip joint was killing me. I mean, the pain was just
And
very,
it'll
very
affect
bad.
you for a day.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
So Marty's suggestion here of every 90 minutes popping out, just kind of taking a breather. I think one thing, too, is it really gets your mind clear,
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
the biggest part. Yeah.
So I drive to Tennessee a ton up there, and it's good 7 hours,
Right.
no matter how you look at it. And I'm lucky enough to have a vehicle that can actually make it on one full tank of gas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've driven the whole trip one time without stopping.
Sure.
And man, when I got out that truck, I was hurting something fierce.
Yeah.
So he, and I'm doing the same as what he's saying, starting to break it up. About every hour and a half, pull over, stretch your legs, get out, and then when you get to the end of your trip, you're not near as fatigued.
Marty Wheel, fitness coach. We're bumping up on our commercial break time here. I want to thank you so much for joining us again today. And as always, dude, you can come back every week. I don't care.
Sounds good.
Thank you for the help, Marty.
It's always fun to catch up with you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me on your show. Enjoy it, and hopefully I'll talk to you gentlemen soon.
You will. That's the 5minutewarmup.com. Again, use the promo code 50OFF, and you get 50% off of the purchase price of the Golf Fitness in 5 Minutes by Mr. Marty Wheel. Again, this has been Tech Talk with Al Cloyd. Al, I'm sorry, I kind of ran your show today.
Hey, that's okay, man.
No problem.
LM.
It is what we do. Low maintenance. That's right. Mr. Patrick Lundy, thank you. Coming up next, after our quick commercial break, we're going to come back and give you some Pro Golf Talk Live here on TGD Today, TV and radio. And, of course, all of our TGD radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, navigate over to our featured course pages where you'll find date information, up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much, much more. Need help with your next golf vacation? Just give Dave a call here at 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531.
Just call Dave.
Just call Dave. All of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show that you may have missed, click on the TGD Radio or the TGD TV tab in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com website. This is George Honeycutt, Patrick Lundy, and Al Cloyd, and on behalf of our producers, we want to thank you so much for tuning in, and we want to thank Mr. Marty Wheel, of course, with us here from the he's just a smart dude.
He is.
Yeah, the fitness coach himself. There's more TGD golf news and information coming up next. Marty?